We're starting in Arceuus today. I've only really been to the general store, so I think we'll start there and make my way around. Arceuus is really pretty with the crystals and these magic trees, plus the dead body! Oh, yeah, that sure is a dead body. Why is someone hanging around it? Hey, what happened here?
She's dead! Thana, how could this happen to you?
Whoa, what actually happened here though? Did you do this?
Me? Of course not. She's my friend!
Alright, I'm sorry, take a moment.
Okay.
So, first of all, who are you and what happened here?
I'm Mori. My friend Thana, she just collapsed. I felt a strange power go through me, and then...
A strange power, like something invisible?
No, not really, just like a chill, but then she just died.
Well, was she sick?
Oh, no, you don't understand. We here in Arceuus don't just die. We're immortal, thanks to the Dark Altar.
Well, apparently not. I'm sorry. If you're immortal, how could this have happened?
I don't know. Only Lord Arceuus would know anything. You'll have to tell the Kourend Council.
Lord Arceuus. I know Councillor Andrews, I'll speak with him. Leaving the scene, I can't help but wonder if my involvement with Veos's mysterious client is responsible for this blip in the Dark Altar's power. Talking to Andrews, he doesn't know what to do about it since he's not privy to the knowledge of House Arceuus. I'll have to speak to the man directly. Councillor Andrews doesn't know what he can do about this. I need to speak to Lord Arceuus. Where can I find him?
He doesn't show his face in public very much. I doubt he can ignore the death of an Arceuus citizen, though. He'll be in the Tower of Magic, northwest of here.
I head up in that direction until I find what I presume to be the Tower of Magic. Approaching the entrance, the guards stop me. When I tell them that there's been a death in Arceuus, they let me into the building, where I see tormented souls attacking the staff. Dealing with them one by one, I achieve level 38 attack. With the last one down, I'm able to head upstairs once the chaos has died down. Upstairs I find Lord Arceuus concentrating hard on a glowing item. His son, Arceuus, explains that the Dark Altar was failing them and Lord Arceuus is using all of his magic and concentration to keep everyone alive. Apparently this released the trapped souls which I encountered downstairs. Looking to help, Arceuus sends me on a mission to see the Tuscarl of Mount Kourend. They apparently gave Lord Arceuus the knowledge to keep his people immortal originally. If anyone would know why it's failing them now, it's the Tuscarl. I need to get to Mount Kourend, which is all the way out west beyond Lovakenge. I'd better get a move on. I pass quickly through Lovakenge, making it to Mount Kourend. Climbing the mountain, I search around for these Tuscarl, though after a brief search I don't find them. Perhaps they're down this elevator. Descending, I find 3 Zeah-like creatures sitting in thrones beneath the mountain. The Tuscarl. I tell the Tuscarl why I was sent here, but they're not happy with the people of Arceuus, who they claim abuse the power of immortality and threw existence out of the balance that they serve. I ask again for aid in finding out why the Dark Altar is failing. They eventually agree to help me so long as I find the trapped soul stuck in a corpse in a grave south of here and free it. Then they will help me. Agreeing to help, I stop by a bank since it sounds like I should be preparing for a fight. Down the mountain, I'm looking for an ancient grave. Looking around, I think that could be it. The tomb looks to have been disturbed though, and tracks lead off away from the grave. Following them around the nearby lake, I eventually find the corpse and release the spirit inside of it through combat. Well, that wasn't so hard. Back to the Tuscarl. Returning to the Tuscarl, they hold up their end of the bargain, informing me that the altar is not failing, the energy is just being redirected to another device nearby. If I were to find and destroy it, the altar would return to its normal function. Making my way quickly to the Dark Altar, I search around the nearby area, finding and destroying the device. Returning to the tower, it seems that everything is back to normal. Lord Trobin Arceuus himself tells me that he can feel the altar working again as it was before. I inform him of the device and it seems like it was a purposeful sabotage. I was given a page of a book for my help here. Interestingly, the page seems to fit the book that Veos gave me while possessed. If I reminisce on the page, it leads me to teleporting into the center of Arceuus. Neat. It looks like Mori is gone, as well as Thana. I was hoping to tell her everything that happened. I think it's time for me to make my way around the city, starting now finally with the general store. A soul rune? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Let's get one of those, plus a blood rune. The store next door sells lots of other runes. Let's buy an air rune pack. Checking upstairs, it's just full of books upon books. I guess when you're immortal you have time to read anything you want. I speak to Frilled in his house here, and he tells me that he keeps a pet bat and that they respond to the Dark Altar and are drawn to Arceuus by the River of Blood. I think the less I know about that, the better. There's a dark wizard in here who's trying to make teleport tablets out of the teleports that they use here. Are they different from my spellbook? Apparently the lectern here has instructions, but I can't comprehend it with my current spellbook. Another group of dark wizards have made their home here. Arceuus seems to attract lots of mages from all over. I don't feel correctly dressed for this location. Let's find a bank. There we are, that's more like it. There are more stores to visit. This one here sells staves, so I buy a magic staff. I like the aesthetic. I find a pub here and ask for a drink, but I'm informed that they only sell spirits. So no beer and a bad joke to boot. Let's move on. There's a temple here with an unusual design and entrance. Checking it out, I find an open room filled with blood. This makes me uneasy. Upstairs, I find Mori, who thanks me for helping out. Apparently she comes to the temple here often now to reflect on her friend. I ask Mofina, the person in charge here, about who they serve, but it sounds like they don't serve any one god. Apparently in their immortal state they've moved beyond the need to pray to gods outside of combat. Now this temple is a place to meditate on the power of the Dark Altar. Well, I'm going to pray anyway. I know of the Great Library here too. It's time for me to check that out. Talking with Lagosier at reception, I can't learn anything about this place. She just shushes me. Well, thank you. I do find a man named Sam who wants help finding a book. Apparently he too got shushed by the librarian. He wants the Tragedy of Tristessa. Okay, I'll see what I can do. Another librarian, Biblia, will help out a bit, giving me a general idea of where the book might be. Top floor, Northwestern Bay. Okay. Looking around for a bit, I find a book, but not the one I needed. Oh, here we are, that's the one. Handing it over to Sam, he gives me an experience tome for runecrafting or magic experience. I decide to help out a little more, getting a few more experience tomes and finding a lot of the books I don't need in the process. These experience tomes are great for runecrafting, getting me level 28 to 29 and eventually even level 30. I still have a lot of extra books. I'm gonna drop them next to the librarian and make them do their job since they were rude. Time to give the Dark Altar a better look. This place is creepy every time. A person here named Tiss alters the magic within my mind so that I might know their spells, including resurrection of ensouled heads. Looking over the new spells in my spellbook, I work out that I can reanimate a goblin head and use a spell called Ghostly Grasp in combat. That was neat. Further up the path I see runestone blocks. If there's one thing I know about runestones, it's mining. Let's get a pickaxe. While I'm here, since I have the Arceuus spellbook, I should read the lectern. I need Dark Essence. Is that the runestone blocks I saw? I return with a pickaxe, but I'm told I need a chisel too. Good thing there's one right here, saves me a trip. Let's get mining and chiseling. With an inventory of dense essence blocks, I can make my way to the Dark Altar to infuse them with its dark power, creating dark essence blocks at the cost of my prayer. One of the tablets I can make is a Draenor mana teleport. Let's try that. Well, it worked. Let's return. I've seen just about everything I can in Arceuus. Let's check out what else is north of here. There's a lookout on guard here who tells me to be careful of the Wintertodt. It's kept at bay by the Doors of Din, created by a master smith of the same name. Apparently Shazian and Arceuus work together to keep it at bay behind the doors. I had best be careful. The area here starts to become quite snowy. I bet that's the influence of the Wintertodt. There are two different paths this way. Further up here looks like a ruined village. The wolves here are super strong though. I can run past to explore, taking only a little bit of damage. This gear really isn't helping my defense. Oh, ice giants too. I managed to run past most of it but see some ice spiders and warriors frozen in snow. This is bad news. There's really nothing left out here, though I did find a path to the rear of the village. There's a standing stone here with a symbol on it. It's interesting, but largely there's nothing here to do with it. I'm going back down this alternate path to change my gear up at the bank. Okay, I've healed up, got some food and changed out my gear again. Let's see what's down the other pathway. Down the other pathway beyond the village I find a strange symbol in the snow, like a Saradominus symbol encased by some magic or something similar. Huh. Down another path I find a man named Ed. He's looking for a helmet at the gravesite here. Maybe they're grave digging. I'll have to come back with a spade if I want to crack that clue. Oh, a minecart operator and a camp here. There's a kitty here too. I need my amulet of cat speak. Oh, a handy bank. The cat keeps asking if I want stuff. A mouse, a half-dead bird, a crunched-up spider. No thanks, cat. Oh, the cat wants tuna. Well, if the cat wants tuna, it gets tuna. Back with the tuna, it eats it, purring, then asks for a toad. No, cat, I think I'm good. Talking with Ignesia, the Arceuus mage here, she tells me of her mission to keep the Wintertot at bay as a pyromancer. Apparently, despite their best efforts, the Wintertot has been growing in power again, though I'm told I won't be of much help when they're right now. So these are the doors of Din. Impressive. I hope they continue to hold. Back with the grave though, I dig and uncover no helmet. Sorry, Ed. There are even more ruins down this path. That Wintertot must have done some real damage. There's a strange man named Rakar here that seems to have lost his marbles, saying things like splish splosh and wubba lubba dub dub. I bet he's in great pain. I'd love to be able to help him. There's a smelly journal here written by someone that lived here and dated to only a few years ago. It speaks of a group that sailed past the Lunar Isle, coming out this way and encountering strange happenings along the way, like a complete lack of fish in the waters. Apparently these travellers were not the settlers here, but joined the otherwise quiet natives. It seems like the travellers started to get sick and claim that a snake stone they found started whispering to them. The journal goes on to say that the villagers were all taken in the night, with trails leading into an ominous crevasse. The journal ends with praise hymn repeated, and then tonight we ascend. Disturbing stuff. Just nearby to the house is a crevasse, much like the one in the journal. This must be where they all went. I'm not looking to go down there. This whole place is not a good look. I think it's time to go. It's time for me now to cross over from Arceuus into Lovakenge. Well, it wouldn't be a dwarven town without a pub, so let's start there. Sounds like they're telling tall tales amongst each other. I'm gonna buy a dwarven stout and a kebab, a hearty dwarven mix. Upstairs they have a place for people to stay. At least they serve me here, unlike in Arceuus. I know that the general store is here. Let's buy a pick and a hammer. That sounds like a good idea. They also have a lot of pots for sale. I'll get some of those too. There are a couple more places out this way. There are clothes on the ground out here, but nobody around. There's nobody in the house either. It looks like a hot spring. I hope nobody got washed away. This is not a Lovakenge style house, but there is a dwarf inside of it. The dwarf living here is named Moggy, and she used to run a charcoal furnace down by the beach. She's not too happy for me to be here though, thinking that I'm some door-to-door salesman. Further down this way is Shazian by the looks of it, so I'll leave that alone for now. There's another minecart here for travel and a nearby bank. That's useful. There's a dwarf in one house near the bank that seems to make all sorts of coloured armour, but she's too busy to talk to me apparently. Let's go north of the pub and see what else the city has to offer. There's an altar here to pray at, though it's unclear who the god is. Some anvils over here too. I'll remember that for later. This shop here sells dynamite. I remember hearing that they mine with that. Let's grab a few. This place here looks like the Motherlode mine. I'll have to come back to this after making my way around. There's a big lava furnace here in the middle of town. That's interesting. Oh, and a normal furnace here, just south of it. Some ores here too. Iron, coal, mithril. I'll need my pickaxe. Oh, a statue on fire. Okay. I thought that Barras here might tell me a little bit about that, but nope. Stumbling around some more, I find a new type of rock I've never seen before called Lovakite, but I don't know how to mine it. There's yet another bank here too. The people of Lovakenge must do a lot of banking. Well, I might not be able to mine the Lovakite, but I can mine the coal here. They have sulfur pits out here too. Maybe I can... Ow, ow, ow. Nope, never mind. There's a pickaxe store here. I already have an adamant one. Maybe I just buy an iron one this time. Oh, I have an idea. Maybe I can get into the sulfur mines without taking damage if I have a gas mask on. Okay, seems safe. Let's mine a bit of this. Alright, now with this sulfur, time to mine some of the iron I saw. A little bit of iron, a little bit of coal. Smelt in the big furnace? No, only for Lovakite. Okay, regular furnace it is. Let's go back to those anvils and make some nails here too. There we go. So I learned that this place is the blast mine where they mine with dynamite. They teach me how to make dynamite, needing sulfur, juniper charcoal, and saltpeter, which I can find around Kourend. I do have some dynamite already, so let's use that. I have to chisel out a space in the rock first, then I can put the dynamite in and light it. Oh, right, and run. Now I collect the ore I blasted out, deposit it in the sack, then collect it from the bag. Couple more of these. From this mining, I get some gold and some coal. Let me check that task log that Elise gave me, see if there's anything else I can do here to impress people. Create a strength potion in the pub. Alright, I make that potion. Do you like that? Yeah? Yeah, you like that. Talking with Lady Lovakenge's advisor in passing, I learned that the doors of Din are having an issue. I shouldn't have said anything earlier. They say I should talk to their smith Undor near the doors to see if I can help. That's a big problem if the doors are failing. I know what that winter toad can do if it gets out. Heading back to the northern tundras, I speak with Undor. He tells me that the doors themselves are not failing, but in fact it was sabotage. Somebody's purposefully made a small hole in the doors and it's having a terrible effect. We need to repair the damage, but the only way to do that is with a special hammer used by Din himself. This hammer can, however, be found in a great tower called Din's Redoubt, to the west of here. Sounds like a job for me. I can take the cart here for 20 coins and then head west to the tower. Okay, yeah, that looks like the tower in question. First the Dark Altar and now the Doors of Din. I can't help but wonder if all this sabotage is connected to Veos's mysterious client. So it seems the hammer is locked away in this display case, and locked by a panel which is not lit up. This sounds like it's going to be a job. Where do I start? Well, there's a furnace in here that isn't up and running. Let's look around the room. A 5 and 8 gallon jug? Anything in this cupboard? Nope. Oh, a tinderbox over here. Okay, the furnace says it needs 4 gallons of coolant to run again. Well, I'll just fill the 5 gallon jug from the tap here and pour 4 gallons in. Well, that didn't work, it has to be exactly 4 gallons. I can't see why I can't just pour that much in, but anyway, let's be smart about this. I mathed it out a bit, pouring measurements from the 5 gallon jug into the 8 gallon jug, then emptying it until I managed to split exactly 4 gallons. Once that's deposited, I light the furnace and it's operational again. Checking the hammer, that's 1 down. Let's head downstairs. Okay, a puzzle on the floor by the looks of it, and a generator at the back. The grid isn't powered, so I can't do anything with that right now. Oh, an old crank here. I can use that to start the generator and then work on this grid. The grid is not aligned, but I can fix that. Okay, there we go, aligned. 2 down, 2 to go. The refinery here needs cleansing fluid, and there's a riddle to work out which one it is from a table marked with jugs from 1 to 5. Okay, after a bit of thought I work out that it must be fluid number 5. Taking it from the table, I can cleanse the refinery. 3 down. The final puzzle is to rebalance the pylons by redirecting all energy to the central pylon. Okay, so if I start taking the discs off of here, I can move them over. Oh, I can't put larger ones on over a smaller one? I see how this works. Let's hash this out real quick. The solution is pretty obvious, so I start to move the discs one by one until the order is right, and the pylons are operational. That's 4 out of 4. Let's get that hammer. Returning to Lovakenge, I take the cart to the northern tundras and supply Undor with the hammer. Now he can fix the doors of Din. Returning to Lady Lovakenge, the councillor congratulates me and rewards me for my efforts. Another page for my book? Does this teleport me too? Yes, it does. I've started to make my way around Kourend today. I'm glad to have been able to help people. Less so about the sabotage. I hope that I'm not in any way responsible for that. I briefly made my way to Mount Kourend today. I think it's time to fully explore the mountain and the rest of this continent. Please join me next time in Mount Kourend. A very special thank you to Jan Elekantua for providing a voice for today's video.